Alright, so I'm back, and today we are going to do another re-review. Re-review? Whatever. Of the Fansproject's Kickback and Ransack. They are the Insecticons, or not Insecticons if you will. Now, the Kickback comes with the daggers. And I do have the Reaper labels on him. Sometimes they don't hold on very well, but as you can see, they just keep popping off. But yeah, there he is in grasshopper mode. It's pretty cool. Like I said, he's got the daggers on the side. Yeah. And then here is Ransack, and he comes with rifles. He came with one rifle for him, which you can port in right here. Just kind of plug it in, kind of keep it out of the way. And he also came with a second rifle for Kickback, and you can plug that one in on this side if you wish. So there he is with the rifles on. Now they are essentially the same mold. The only retool on this one, aside from the daggers, is the robot head. And you can kind of see the difference here with this little gap right here. That's where the robot head is. And then this one right here has got a different setup there. But yeah, they're really cool. Let's see. Antenna can pose up and down if you wish. Front legs and back legs are on ball joints, so it's a pretty good range of motion. Now on my Kickback, the legs are a lot looser than they are on Ransack, so he's not really able to stand up anymore than pretty much laying straight down, whereas he can. You can actually get a pose with this one. The wings are on ball joints, so they can go up a little bit, in, out. Pretty decent range of motion there. Back legs are on ball joints, and then there's a swivel. Doesn't bend at the knee due to the transformation, and then the back foot can pivot a little bit. So yeah, that's them in the bug mode. I think they're really cool. I really dig them. They're definitely better than the Generations Kickback that came out last year. I mean, they're not perfect, but they're much better than what was officially released. So yeah. Guess that's really all there is to say in the bug modes. They are, like I said, essentially the same mold, so we'll be going over the transformation twice here. But to transform him, first thing I like to do is I like to take the daggers off. Get those off to the side. Those off, and then on him we'll take the rifles off. Set those off to the side. And what you want to do to transform him, first thing you want to do is flip this piece here up into the little cavity. There's a little cavity right here that you can just flip right into. Flip these around. Now when you're transforming them into bug mode, these things can lock into place if you push this a little bit further, but if you do that, the feet get stuck in there, and I'd say 9 out of 10 times when I transform him back to robot mode, I pop the feet off. So I like to just put it almost all the way up there, you know, as far as it'll go without clicking, and it seems to hold pretty well. So rotate this around like so. Do the same thing over here. And then you want to unpeg this panel here and this panel here. And then you rotate these down, and they'll plug into the sides of the angles here, just like so. Then you can straighten out the leg. Do the same thing over here. So unplug, unplug, rotate, rotate, and plug it back in. Straighten out the foot. Alright, and then you take these bug legs here and you want to just move these back. And you can take these wings, take them back here, like so. And then you take these legs, kind of split them out like so. And then you come down here and you want to unplug this bottom section of the abdomen. You just split this like so. And then this piece will rotate up. Actually, you want to pull this up first. And this here will fit inside this little cavity in here. So just bring that up like so. And then you can bring the wings around. Helps you to do things in the right order. So do the same thing over here. Pull this up. Push this into here. Rotate the wing back. And then you could just collapse the hips together. They port in together to each other. This side here goes into here, and this one here goes into here. And then as you do it, there's two little tabs up here and here that will plug in behind the little crotch piece there. So just get that all together. Like so. And then what you want to do up here is rotate the arm around, and then you pull this out like so. Rotate it around, and then fold it back in. So now it's like this. Then you take the arm, rotate it around, fold the hand forward, rotate, and there you have his arm. So do the same thing over here. Pull this out, rotate around, collapse, rotate, rotate, rotate. Lots of rotating. I always told my ex-girlfriend whenever she was trying to transform some of my Transformers, you know, if all else fails, rotate. Something will rotate eventually. And then you want to flip these little heel spurs out. They're just down here inside the feet. And just flip those out. Flip them out. Like so. And then you take... what I like to do here is I like to rotate these wings around so they're up like this. And then you take these legs and just kind of straighten them however you can. And then you can take this whole head, rotate it back like so, and then it rotates up, and the antenna rotate down. And then just kind of find a good configuration with the legs. There's no real wrong way to put the legs. Then you rotate the head around, and there you have Kickback in robot mode. And here's a close-up of his head sculpt. As you can see, he's not too G1 accurate with the head. The rest of him looks really awesome, though. Now let's do the same thing for Ransack here. Excuse me. So what you want to do again is rotate this up, pull the feet down like so. Do the same thing over here. Now these guys' transformation's identical. The other two have slight variations from each other because of the retools, but these guys do not. I'm still, while we're doing this, I'm just ramble on, I guess. But I'm still waiting, hoping that repro labels will release a set just for the armored battalion guys, because they're really cool, and I really hope that I can make them look cooler with those. Sometimes Repro Labels does such an amazing job, like with the Insecticons. It's so great. Other times it's like, why did I even bother spending $15 or something on this set when all it really does is give me a Decepticon logo and a little bit of extra detail, which are unnecessary. So you collapse these together again, like so. You kind of have to pull this out a little bit, but it's nowhere near as scary as the Fansproject cars with the Intimidator set. And the plastic's a lot sturdier than any of those guys too. And then for him, I like to take the wings back and rotate them down, so they kind of stay down there. So just kind of differentiate them a little bit more. So pull this out, rotate around, collapse down. And just pull that right off. Like so. And then you pull the head back. Fold it up. Rotate the antenna down. And then again, just kind of position the legs however you want to just try and keep them out of the way. Rotate the head around. And there's Ransack, and there's his head mode, or his head. And that one's really close to the G1 toy, from what I remember. So that's really cool. So there they are in robot modes. And as you can see, like the wings alone just make them look almost completely different from each other, along with the paint scheme. Now, with my Ransack here, all the stickers that are on him came with him. He comes with so many stickers that there's so many left over that you can easily put them on him. And I think it looks good on him. So he came with these red stickers here, which I think fit the wings pretty well. Black Decepticon logos there, Decepticon logo on the chest. No, that one's actually one I just added. These little vent ports right here, because he has these two instead. And then there's this little silver sticker right there on his crotch. He had a yellow one. And then these silver bits on the wings with the Decepticon logos. So there was enough left over that I could, throw him on Ransack here and make him look pretty awesome. Now, for posability, the head is on a ball joint. The ball joint itself is on a longer stem, so he actually does get a really good range of motion with his head. It's pretty cool, because it doesn't look like he's got like a tiny little neck. Well, it kind of does, but you don't really notice it too much. But yeah, it makes it work really well for him. Shoulders are on ball joints, so good range of motion there. It's also on a stem that goes into the body that has a pivot that goes up and down. There is a bicep swivel, double hinged shoulder pads, so you can really get those out of the way if you need to. Double bend elbow, so he does bend significantly at the elbow. It's giving me some trouble here all of a sudden. There we go. So yeah, he does have the double bend elbow. Works pretty well. The bottom part of the elbow is on a ball joint. Hands are on ball joint, but they kind of go out instead of around. But they do still get a pretty decent range of motion there and rotate all the way around. Nothing at the waist. Hips are on ball joints. Although the way it's designed, it does get a little bit of outward positioning, but not a great amount. I guess that's actually pretty good. Swivels at the thigh, bends at the elbow, or bends at the knee. Pretty good bend. And foot is on a ball joint, so great range of motion there. And yeah, these guys, I love these guys. This is a great set. Either one of these guys. For size comparison, let's pull out the Seeker mold. So as you can see, Starscream is about a head taller than Kickback. So they're more in line with a small deluxe or really big scout. Let me grab Wind Charger real quick. So this is Wind Charger, who's a scout class. So as you can see, they're significantly taller and bigger, bulkier than he is. So definitely more along the lines of a small deluxe. Just trying to give you guys something good to work with here. Here they are next to Fall Cybertron Shockwave, which is probably one of the shortest deluxes we've gotten in recent history. And he's still about a head taller than Kickback. So yeah, so they're small deluxes or really large scouts, however you want to look at it. Like I said, he does come with the daggers here, so you can plug those into his hands if you wish. And then they also can port in on his sides. He's got a port here, and one at the hip. And either one of those can hold a dagger, like so. Like that. We'll just take these off for a moment here. I like the daggers, but I'm not the biggest fan of them. Almost out of time. Let me pause the video for a second. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the daggers. The rifles are pretty cool. That came with Ransack here. Now the problem with them is that it's not a perfect fit into his hand, so it's kind of a loose fit. It falls out a lot. Not as bad as some of the other Insecticons, but it does fall out. That's the problem with having the open hands that's designed for a round port, and you get a this is more of a rectangle plug, as you can see there. So it doesn't hold very well. And that's really unfortunate, because this is a really great set, and I think the guns would have been perfect had they been rounded. Or if they had just regular circle hands. Let's see, would this fit in? And they're too small to fit on like a 5mm, so it's not quite a 5mm port. So it looks great when they have the rifle, but not perfect. So, but I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying, "Oh, this is a break deal right here." They didn't do it right and stuff like that. No, it looks good. So let's put these things on him now. And I've said this when I did the first reviews of these guys, that I wish they would. I wish Fansproject would have released more G1 accurate head sculpt on Kickback and released him with the gun. I could care less. I mean, the daggers, like I said, are cool, but I would have been happier with a rifle that fits perfectly in his hand than I would daggers. And although this one's not as apparent as the other two sets when we get into those, that you know, their ninja aspects of this actually detracts from the G1 look of these guys. And that's really unfortunate. Because, like, Bombshell here, and then Barrage, this is more of a Bombshell type antenna, and this really works. This would have worked a lot better for Bombshell. I think they should have done, if they're going to do the Ninja Bugs, they should have done the Ninja Bugs with the repaints, because being as they weren't in the cartoon, you know, I think they should be able to take a little bit more liberty to them. So yeah, all in all, I think I overrated these guys before, because I gave him a 9.5 and I gave the set, and he came in as a 10. All in all, though, I'm going to go with a... I'm going to go with a 9 for him, because he just looks awesome, and an 8 for him. He's really good, don't get me wrong. My gripes are he didn't come with a gun. I had to buy a $150 set to get him a gun from Fansproject, or you can go online and I know they make some in shapeways, but you'd have to paint the guns and stuff like that. No, you know what? 9 and 9. They're both 9s. The gun thing still stays true, and I wish, like I said, they had a bit more G1 accurate head sculpt on him. Other than that, they're great. I do highly recommend it. I hope Fansproject does a second run of these guys, so if you guys missed out, you can pick them up. I know there's a KO of him rolling around somewhere, but I haven't heard that it was same quality, so I haven't purchased it. I would, but I'm currently trying to sell a whole bunch of Transformers that aren't necessary for my display, to try and get enough money to get Hercules, so I can do a Hercules versus Giant comparison video. I think that would be very awesome. I know at least one or two other people have done full comparisons between the two, but I haven't, and I think that'd be fun, and that's more than half the reason why I do this, is because I have fun with it. So but yeah, so I do recommend both of these guys. You can only pick him up in the gift set at that was on TF Source. I don't know if it's still available. I'll check that out before the next video, but if it is, pick it up before it's gone. And if you can find him for a good price, I got last year when I purchased him, I got the other two Insecticons with him for $140 because one of them was broken. But it was claws on this guy that were broken. And if you guys remember the release of these guys, he came with spare claws for him, and the guy didn't want to open it to find out, so he didn't officially know that he came with the claws. So I he had broken claws, but I had spare claws. So it worked out pretty well. Anyway, so yeah, 9 and 9. They're great figures. I really, really recommend them. They're really cool. Very happy I have them in my set. I know Hasbro's releasing a Shrapnel soon in the Legends class scale, so I'm going to pick it up no matter what, because I'm a huge fan of Insecticons. If they're significantly better than the Fansproject ones, I might replace my Fansproject. If not, I might just use them as army builders, because as you remember in the G1 show, they had the ability to make more out of scrap. So anyway, that's Kickback and Ransack. I'll put I already did the real names, so I'm not too worried about it in my previous reviews. But yeah, these guys are great. I really recommend them. They're just good figures. This is when Fansproject was making good figures. that weren't so bah like the Stunticons. Yeah, the Headmasters are great, but Stunticons, in comparison, I mean, there is no comparison between these guys and Stunticons. These guys are so much better. Yeah, they're a little fidgety, but they're not bad. So yeah, Kickback, Ransack. Get them while you can.